Okay, this tutorial will show you how to access your folio and also perform each section. So what you want to do is you'll just go onto the Year 11 Industrial Skills page. Got a few students in here that can't hold themselves. So what you want to do is if you go down to the cabinet making toolbox, alright, we're just going to go into the project and it says click here to download. So what that's going to do is that's going to take you to a view only document. You will need to file and make a copy and then save that into your drive. Make sure when you save it, you actually put your name on the front. Alright, so it'll be like that.
Okay.
Make a copy.
Yeah.
Okay, so then in your drive you'll all have one of these Toolbox projects logbook with your name on the front. If you could just then share that with me and then I'll have access to it. So throughout these next few weeks when you're working on it, if you just type in my email, that should come up and then you can just send that to me. Alright, so for the first section, on-guard safety, this is very straightforward. All you need to do is you go onto on-guard, you go to your list of completed tests. So all you're going to do is delete this screenshot and then put in the one that you've done. The next one is your stages of construction. Now these are just the working drawings in order to help you complete the tasks that are in the folio. Alright, so for example, this is the big bit of stock that we get at the start, which is like 2.4 meters by 1.2 meters. So if you can remember at the start of the Toolbox project, we actually had to rip the material. So ripping the material is ripping along the length of the stock, and then you guys had to then dock the material, which is using a drop saw. So ripping is on the table saw, and then what you guys learnt was to tailor out with your fingers underneath the timber, and then you set up the drop saw with a stop, and then you could dock at the certain lengths required by the working drawings here. So the best thing to do is, even though it is quite small, if you go into the present mode, you're able to then look at these numbers a lot more easier. So you can see the length of my side is 890 and then the height is 300. So if I then go on to this, the task is to then put the measurements length and width in red, and then in the blue boxes we need to identify the numerous parts. For example, this is our first side, so we can put the side as our part. That's our second side, and then the length is going to be 890. It's the same with that, and these are going to be our ends and our ends. And then if we go back to our working drawing, we can see that our ends are 300 by 300. So I know that that's going to be 300, and that's going to be 300, and also the width of that is going to be 300. Alright, now it slightly differs with the next piece because we need a top and bottom. Now with the top and bottom is slightly narrow. Make sure that that fits nice and neat. Okay, so if we go into our working drawings, I go present. The width of our top and bottom you can see is 276, it's not 300. So you need to make sure that on there is 276. And then we've got just some spare ends. Now remember, each stock that we get, the 2.4 by 1.2 meter, alright, can be split into two toolboxes. So you need to complete the rest of the diagram in order to fill that out.